Hi, I'm Kirstie, and I love replicated research. As a scientist, I put teenagers in MRI scanners to see how their brains change as they get older. There are lots of different parts of my job. I design experiments, process the data, I run statistical analyses, and I talk with my colleagues about what our results mean. Once we understand them, we write them up and publish a journal article so that others can learn from what we've done. There are 4 parts to a paper. There's the methods and the results that say what we did and what we found, and there's the discussion, which says what we think it means. But the first part is the introduction, and that section focuses on what's been done before, the work that inspired us to ask our research question in the first place. But what if what's been done before isn't right? For example, in 2008, there was a study in which people had to hold a cup of coffee for a couple of minutes and then answer questions about their personality. The researchers found that if you held a cup of hot coffee, you were more likely to think of others as kind and generous than if you held a cup of iced coffee. In other words, you were a warmer person. The article was published in the journal Science, which means lots of people read it. And it also means that a lot of other researchers have built their work upon it. Since it was published, the paper has been cited in more than 250 other studies. Why am I telling you this? Well, in part because I don't think it's true. I don't think I become a nicer person when I'm given a hot cup of coffee versus a delicious iced tea. But more importantly, in a study of 300 people, a different group of researchers found no evidence for the effect. That's super important, right? We need to change our minds and think differently now that we've got new evidence, right? But no, almost nobody knows about the replication. It's only been referenced by other researchers 4 times. I want to change the incentive structure around doing replication research. At the moment, selection committees currently award jobs and grant funding based on how much other researchers think about your work. And the main way to measure this is to look at how often they cite you. The problem is that if you recreate a cool experiment that you've read about and you don't get the same results, your best career move is to just quietly move on to a new research question. Your years of hard work are never published, and nobody gets to learn from them. This is called the file drawer effect, and it's costing us millions every year. We waste time and money going down the wrong path, and in some areas, like with respect to randomized controlled trials and clinical studies, we're actually putting patients' lives at risk. So what if when you were reading a paper, you'd see all of this information? You'd seen the number of times that an experiment has been conducted and the number of times that it's been replicated. This would help you know how much to trust the work that this new research was based on. Along with the replication ratio, you'd see a link to a curated database of all the replication attempts linked to an original finding. We'll also incentivize reproducible research. All papers will start out with a replication ratio of 0/0. When the authors make their data and analysis code openly available, they'll receive a replication ratio of 1/1. The reader will be able to see, in the browser, as they're reading the paper, who has been putting in the effort to make sure that their work is transparently conducted and open to scrutiny. In 2016, I became a member of the Mozilla Science Lab's Open Leaders cohort. Together, we've been focusing on the importance and power of an open community. My proposal for a replication ratio for every study will build on some of the amazing initiatives that are already underway. In particular, I'm not proposing a new way for people to publish replication studies. There are already journals that are encouraging authors to bring out your nulls. Or even better, show that the original work is solid and generalizable. What I want is to provide readers with the most up-to-date information. I don't think anyone, academics and curious non-experts alike, should have to trawl the internet for failed or successful replication attempts. I want to provide them this information in the browser as they're reading the introduction to a paper. There's a great example of this technology that already exists, PubPeer. With the PubPeer browser plugin, you can see if anyone has left post-publication peer review comments on previous work and go and check them out. In my year as a Shuttleworth Fellow, I will curate a database of all replication studies and link them to the original publication for all readers to see. If a paper replicates, we'll all have more confidence in it, and if it doesn't, we can adjust our theories and move forwards. Thanks for listening.